Okay, I didn't have the camera locked. I had it on swivel, so it was just going to keep turning with the camera, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to start all over again and do 360s on the telescope with the camera. Oops. So I'll mention in this video because I did in the last two, and I don't know how many videos are even gonna make it up, anyways, because I fucked up the last one, so I might not even post it. Don't anybody write in the box that I don't know that the moon has its own shadow. I know the heliocentric model fairly well. I'm not a genius like all you guys, but I get that. Hold on a minute. So, anyways, yeah. So I know that I know what you guys are gonna say because in the video I did earlier, about a week ago or whatever it was, I was uh, I was putting out that 9 o'clock moon compared to the sun in my 3 o'clock, and I know what everyone's gonna say because it's 94 million miles away. Is also the part that I'm not understanding. I do understand that. You guys are not understanding what way I'm looking at it is because they're looking at each other. Then the moon should be full, just like we're looking at it right now as a full moon. So if the sun and the moon are looking directly at each other and there's no earth in the way, and I can obviously see that with my own eyes, then I can account for the degree of, like for example, if the sun was at my 12 o'clock and the moon was at my 9 o'clock, I could see an angled top of the moon lit at an angle, assuming that the sun is further away, so obviously higher than what the moon would be. um, Boy, it's still pretty blurry. Let me get this fucking thing in a little better. Keeps moving on. So if the moonlight is supposed to be, and by the way, everything's lit up around here. The moon's lighting up the entire ground. That's another thing. So the sun's supposed to be cascading the light off the moon, and then lights up the earth like this. That's fucking ridiculous. So you don't see the light's rays going towards the moon. Now that part you can't see, but you can see the rays. For some reason, the moon must be made up of mirrors, according to this heliocentric model. It's like it's just like I was saying about the space station. Supposedly we can see the space station from 94,000 miles. It's so stupid. We've been so we just weren't paying attention, I guess. I could probably try to explain it this way too, with the sun's light story bouncing off the moon and then ricocheting and, and landing on the earth. It's fucking so silly, man. It really is funny. Um, it's the same thing with daylight. We say that daylight comes from the sun. Oops. In the heliocentric model and the geocentric model both claim that the heat comes from the sun. I'm sorry, the light rather. The heat too, the heat rays too. A lot of credit goes to the sun for the heat, but temperature itself too is also an effect of electromagnetic current. Wind is an effect of electromagnetic current. Heat is an effect of pressure is an effect of electromagnetic current. Um, and nobody ever accounts for those things. For the electromagnetic current, we always say, we get the sun rays, we say it's the UV ray, and there are benefits and downsides to all these things. Don't get me wrong, but we never include the real electrical aspect of it all, the electromagnetics of it all. Really, it's funny. And when you look back at Tesla, Tesla was a Freemason too, and he played with the numbers. He distracted us from the 1 through 9. Somebody must have been hot on the 1 through 9. Somebody at that time that Tesla was around and put into play, kind of just like Elon Musk is now, These people are put into play. They'll give you your heroes. And those are some of the heroes they gave us along the line. And when you look at their story, Tesla gave us a big fucking deal. He gave us an alternator, right? He gave us a voltage regulator done in mechanical form. Wasted energy is really what it was, because we're surrounded by the electromagnetic current. We could be using it everywhere to do everything, and we could be mimicking that for ourselves rather than giving all the power to others, governments, science, whatever. Hold on a minute. Yeah, so instead of giving up all of our powers over the years, I don't want to call them powers. They were God-given rights, if you will, but we were lied to in all the books. 6,000 to 10,000 years of fucking bullshit stories, unfortunately. And 7.8 people maybe can feel the energy and they know there's something good behind it, but if they're never going to look at it and they're only going to see the lies, they're only going to look there. They refuse to look anywhere else. They refuse to step outside the box and even admit that we were lied to. It would hurt our mirror neurons will be crushed. That's also something I want to start talking about soon too, about anybody that might come to my videos and feel like it's hopeless or sad, or because there's a lot of high anxiety in dealing and facing reality, and if anybody does feel that way, don't. It's much better to face it and see what it is. There's nothing to be fearful about. I guarantee you that. I try to explain that as I go along too, and that may be why I leave a lot of things out that I think people might be to cause fear and make people upset. I try not to do that anyways. At this point, again, with the clock ticking faster, and just feels like I got to step it up a little bit. So maybe lately I've been saying more than I normally do. But really, yeah, there's really nothing to be fearful about. Everybody was really right. All the religions were correct in their own ways, That's why I say it's better if everybody just goes and looks for themselves. That's why I got to just get you to look for yourself in this way. It's not someone else telling you. You'll see it for yourself, And this way you won't take it so hard, maybe. But I don't know. My experience so far is that people are just not even willing to look. So, and then when I trick them into looking, they see it, and then they're go right back to their religions. It makes them feel better, their safe space, and they're able to ignore what I'm just not able to ignore anymore, you know. So, like I said, it's quite a battle. You know, you got to think about it too. You know, what I'm showing you guys, what I'm trying to show everybody, is the most amazing thing that anyone has seen and even admitted to seeing in 6,000 to 10,000 years. It's so big. There's not even words that could describe it, and I have to just go da 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 da, you know. And then every once in a while, I piss everybody off with saying some of the shit I'm saying, which has nothing to do really with the system, except for I have to point them out because as you're seeing the system, you're going to need something to refer to. You know, otherwise, why even look at the system anyways if you're not going to admit to seeing it? You know, so you got to be ready to understand that everything you've ever heard, learned, thought, taught, programmed has been a lie. But that's okay. It's not. It's a bad thing, but we don't have to be anymore. We don't have to live like that. And I guess the point is that it's better on the other side to see it all anyway. It's better. The side of reality is better than the side of fantasy. So you don't have to be fearful to get rid of the zeros. You don't have to be fearful to not count on the economy working the way that it always has. You know, you don't have to worry about those things. All that will come into play as soon as everybody goes and looks. Everybody else look, they'll see it, they'll understand. It might take a little time to get it around their heads, but then no one can lie to you anymore. That's the great thing about it, you know. Um, but it's funny, you know, if here I am, I'm gonna be 5 years, like I said, on finding this system, getting better and better at showing it to you, explaining it to you from what I've seen so far, and I haven't got anywhere with it, you know. No one's out here with me. 5 years later, I'm still by myself. Yeah, so you know, it's been 5 years. I argued with everybody. I fight with everyone for what, you know, and everyone hates me. You know, so the family, friends that I've had all my life, I'm not the same person I was before. So of course they all don't want to hear what I got to say, even though they all believe in millions of different things. You know, they're separated by the hundreds for all these different religions, right? Just what you know as religions. In other words, some are Jewish, some are Catholic, some are Christian, some are Islamic, some are all these different religions. So they're fine with being separated at all them points. And what I'm offering to show you is that you can pull all those religions into reality. You'll see the reality of it. So yes, it might not match exactly, and there are going to be some of those religions that are going to be very upset on one side. So in other words, the men are going to be very upset. You know, um, the ones that are in charge, but not necessarily all the men. But you got to remember, all the men have been programmed just like the women. You know, that's why I tell you, the rockets, the flying penises. You know, it's definitely true. Every time they do a reset, last time they took us down with nuclear phosphate testicles, because they were flying testicles last time they took us down. You can still see the evidence of them all over the earth. So men are going to be upset when they realize that now it's going to be provable that what order the false creator had separated us. Or maybe I'll start calling it the true creator, the creator, and the false creator, because the creator and the false creator are actually both the same. So maybe I'll start wording it that way: the true creator, the creator, and the false creator, and knowing that the creator and the false creator are actually divided. They're one, but they're divided. So in other words, that's where all the division starts, is at the creator and false creator, because they were one and the same. They pulled themselves from the true creator's work and did their own thing, which was a biosystem. What's that? The fucking cat? Hold on a minute. So going and looking at it, I might have to fine tune. I think I knocked this out of tune. Hold on. So it's, you have to go see it. I've been saying for years, this whole telescope thing, this is fun, to go see it. Now, if I was out here telling my kids about the heliocentric model and go look at the moon and see what we were told is God in the Bibles, right, and in the religious books, and I told them that, and I went along with the science that they were teaching in school, then both of my kids would be out here with me right now, and they'd be all excited. But because their father sees things for what they are, then their mother's not even going to let them. She's going to find something else for them to do. She's not going to let me talk to them about any of this, And that's the way it is with everybody. If I was to invite my family over, and I don't want, no one likes being involved in my conversations anyways, but if I was to invite my family over, and same thing, I mean, if I was heliocentric, or even a flat earther, I could probably even find some people to, I don't know what the hell kicked it out again. Somewhere about there. You would still find people, because I researched the whole flat earth thing and everything like that. It's the terminology flat. It's just as stupid as a spinning web pararocket ball as far as using their terminology. That's why I refuse to use it. That at best I say flat earth, and I'll say geocentric model, heliocentric model feels more comfortable for me. But it was all psyops. Everything was a fucking psyop. It sucks. But I did research the flat Earth thing because, like I was saying in another video, it got thrown out about Obama. Obama was the one that kicked off the flat Earth movement, and then they were already set up. They had like 20 books already in print within that year that nobody was even paying attention to, and all of a sudden Obama started coming out, Flat Earth Society this, at the end of a press conference, and then that went out. So those are trigger words, and there were a lot of people that were already feeling that there's something wrong with everything. There's something wrong. We know we're being lied to. We can't prove it, but it just seems like everything's a fucking lie. And that's why you were sidetracked to go follow the CIA. The same thing I was telling you about Larry Pinckney went through with the Panthers. When he started the Black Panthers, it was a good thing, and it was honest, and it was on the level, and it was a neighborhood thing, just like Pastor Brooks is trying to do. He's got his own things that he's trying to do, and so did they. So Larry Pinckney and a few of his buddies, and it maybe even was 12 of them, but they got sabotaged. So it sucks, no one even stands a fucking chance. And every time you think you found the biggest lie, you never did. There's even more shit that you say, there's no way I could have been lied to about that, You know, but it's all bullshit. Everything, the whole thing was a fucking lie. But don't worry about it. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing to get worried about and everything like that. You know, no one's got to go jumping off bridges or anything stupid. You don't want to leave here. Once you know the system, you definitely won't want to leave. You want to stay as long as you can and fix things and make sure that you know when you know, because there's the creator, who I was calling the false creator before. Now I'll just call him the creator. But the creator did a wonderful thing for us. I mean, with the consciousness and everything like that. It was when humans took over the creator's work and mimicked it. We are the ones that fucked it up to make things as bad as they are, and things are much worse than they're played off to be. That's why it's so easy to crash everything, because the idea that everything is good and everything's going well is just a facade. So when someone tears down the veil on you, which is what I've been doing, I'm dropping the veil. You know, it's everything. It's everything has been a lie. So it's very hard to see and go look at, and people are not going to accept it, and they have to see it for themselves. They can't take anyone's word on it, including mine. So so it makes it difficult. Thing keeps going out of focus really fast. I don't know if it's something I'm doing. Yeah, over the years, I used to bring my telescope and camera set up and stuff like that to any of the town functions and things like that, and get to talking with people. And sometimes you would meet some people that were serious heliocentrics for no other reason than just things that they had been told. And they, even though, because I used to own telescopes, I've owned telescopes throughout my life and stuff. Um, but when you think you're looking at a big ball floating through the sky, and you picture in your mind, in your imagination, that you're spinning at 1100 and that's things going around you at 2200, and you put it all together because of the pictures they gave you, I got to let myself off the hook. I mean, that was my programming. I thought that's what it was. So whenever I looked through my telescope and looked at the moon, that's the system I saw. But when I look with my own eyes and I look with reality, it's a whole different thing. Uh, but it's better. You know, to see what it really is it's much better. And then we have honesty and reality. And really, the technology is so much better than the garbage that we use, you know, nowadays. I'm trying to turn this while I'm talking. Try to move this. Yeah, I always throw myself off when I'm talking, and then later I remember and said, "Oh my God, I never even finished my sentence because I'm talking so much." Like I'm doing now, so I'm gonna forget what I was gonna say. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's. Oh, I remember what I was gonna point out. Candace mentioned that Elon Musk had invented something that you could. He was trying to invent something, which he's really bad. I mean, every time I hear that guy in a conversation with somebody, I'm like, what are they doing? Why is everybody. I have not really heard him say anything highly intelligent. It's very strange. Very strange. Um, anyways, he was talking about breaking your carbons down and sending them to another place, and that's how you're going to be able to travel. Candace, believe me, the true system that we've already had the technology for thousands of years is way better than that. The true creator's energy, the more I'm getting used to using it, the better I'm feeling about it. It's the same thing, except you don't take your carbons with you. You just use the energy to travel through. And I'm just, like I said, I first had to get used to using it to um, communicate. And when I started going in there, it was a little bit scary because there's a lot of things that look evil and beastly and things like that as well when you're in the energy. But you got to remember that even the true creator shows us feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. So when you see beast, you can't be afraid of that either anymore. There's no need to be afraid of seeing the beast. Um, so anyways, so going in there and conversating or going in there to use it, you realize that time is all one because it's the true creator's energy. So time is all one. It's not like in the conscious realm where you everything's divided. Where I'm separate from you, you're thousands of miles away. I'm separate from my uncle, he's 50 miles away. You know what I mean? We're all divided, separate from each other. I'm separate from that tree over there, things like that. But when the energy is all one, so we're all connected through that energy. I'll explain it that way. And and it's easy to use. It's really a lot easier than we've made it out over the thousands of years or whatever. Like I said, giving it up to priests and higher powers that were supposedly better to use the system. That was bullshit. We all were using the system at one time, and we can still all use the system. Let me try to turn it again while I'm still talking. Come on, baby. Thing right there. Yeah, so for them to make a big deal out of coming up with, and I don't believe him that he's going to be able to drop the carbons down because again, then if he did, then they figure again they just copied um, the false creator, the creator's work on a human scale. If that's the case, which means big fucking deal again. That means we as the people, the 7.8 billion, we had this technology ourselves and we're using it thousands of years ago. Obviously, that's how we were moving those 350 to 500 ton stones. That's how we were cutting them, moving them, putting them in place, dropping them down from miles below, putting them up from miles high. We were able to do all that, and that's how we did it. Um, and then now they give us little garbage technology of everything's hardwired and everything's a monopoly. I mean, they're just wasting our energy. That's why I said I was talking about to Pastor Brooks about the old factories and shit like that during during the American boom and during the American Revolution. It was all planned out. Every country has uh, their industrial revolutions, and during that time, they're putting all the carbons up into the atmosphere, and they were controlling the weather that way all along. It's always been going on that way. And I was starting to say in an earlier video too, I don't talk much about the weather control because you don't understand the severity of it. If you go and look at what I'm showing you and you realize you're gonna see what I mean. In other words, I can't talk about it really. I can't. My videos will get shut down. The Freemasons get really pissed off. They start going to town with arguments back and stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Um, so really, I can't really say too much about it. But it's obvious. Use your own head. If they're able to control the weather, all weather, underground weather, weather in the sky, weather at every level, because they're controlling the current, the electromagnetic current, controlling it meaning influencing it. They can influence it just like we always did. That's how we used to build things. We used to build that way. And now what we do to build is, we lift things with mechanical power. We got wheels turning everywhere, wasted energy everywhere. The gears. We're just now going over to the digital, in our conscious realm. In our conscious realm, we're going over to this digital age. But even that digital age is controlled in so many ways. It's amazing on a human scale. It's garbage technology compared to the true creator's work. That's why I say about what Harold Kotz is holding a condensed pile of the builders and the carbons that they use to build with. So if he's got a condensed area of builders, mass of them or whatever, that would be great. Because I believe that those same builders are also the magic of the cell phone. They're also the magic of the carbon tubes that are in televisions, the old televisions, the old tube televisions. It's the same carbons that are in there. It's the magic of them. It's the condensed builders doing the work and the deeds for humankind rather than for what you would call God. So yeah, so we got jacked up by the human population. We've enslaved ourselves, and it's every country. It's every country. It's not just us. And I'm not saying these things that as they may sound like it's sad and stuff, but it's really not. The point is if we wake up, it doesn't have to be. But if there's not enough people that do wake up, then because see, it's got to be done wisely, as we can do it, anyways. What are you doing? I think it's already at 40 minutes or 43 minutes. Oh, you got out, huh? You little shit. 43 minutes? Yeah. So I can only go a couple more minutes. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole turn. I'll see how I feel.